Ad Astra applesauce. Hey everyone, this is Tico Latte, and I have a guest right now. It's
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm one of the moderators.
moderators from my TikTok lives and on Discord. So, so this is like a new thing. I didn't want to edit this video because I feel burnt out, to be honest with you, with editing. I didn't want to admit that I'm also burnt out with Genshin SereniTea Pot, but yeah, that's the truth. That's why I took like 5 months off, and now I'm just going back to decorating. And the secret summer event really gave me inspiration to make this design. It's like the choo choo cart. It is a choo choo cart, yeah. So here I am. I'm just taking like different. I was gonna edit this actually, and then I felt like this is gonna take a long time, and I don't have that much with my busy schedule. So yeah, here I am. I'm just gonna talk about over this video, and you know how if you're like a teapot main, it's really exhausting after making such designs already for like a few hours. But like for us content creators, like you have to edit it. Thinking about editing after creating such work is already like discouraging already. That at least for me, but maybe for other content creators, they have their own editors, or they're just having fun doing it, already taking their time. But for me, I want to do it right away. Like I can't just leave this in my drive, right? Because it's like gets my laptop gets full easily, and I didn't want to just procrastinate and just leave that footage there. So this is just after I took this video, and then I just wanted to like, okay, let's just do like this talk thing here. What we're gonna talk about is like replica IDs. So I know for some, yeah. What do you think about that? Like in your you're not a Genshin player.
Genshin player, why would you? What do you talk about replica IDs? What? How? What am I supposed to?
let me ask a non-Genshin player about replica ID. Let me explain to non-Genshin player what replica ID is. It's like, for example, it's like AI art. Just basically take someone's art and just kind of like, you know, do whatever you want with it, because it's like the same thing. Like you literally copy it, everything that someone has done, and you just have to like collect all of the furnishings with it. It's like a code you use in like Genshin SereniTea Pot. So basically, the thing about it is it's good for people who kind of don't have the motivation to build, or they don't know how the glitches work. But at the same time, there's also disadvantages with it, because it lets the like other players get just lazy and just rely on the people who make these builds. And also there's one more problem with replica system right now, is that, for example, if you copy this whole design and you took out one bush or just one rock and you save it again as another replica code, that means it's like a new generated code that someone can just own. Like basically, like you can just sell it somewhere online, or yeah, there's like a lot of issues with that in Bilibili. I think that some SereniTea Pot builder got their design stolen, and this is way even before the replica system was actually, they just copied their tutorials. So I think that was unlucky Tabibito. Yeah, that was way before. But yeah, for now, like, you know, I'm quite hesitant to give out replicas, but you can see it in my TikTok. I've gave out a bunch there, most likely because I wanted to have slots. Like I'm already almost full with this the replica slots. I want to make more. And also it's very limiting because it only works between, like, if you're in North America, it only works with North America servers, and you can't even transfer it to like EU or Asia. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the replica system, and this is how you would generate it. Like, you just kind of look at it for one last time before you like send it out to the world. I guess all your work that you've put so much in it. I just don't know, like, what do you think? Like in the other teapot builders, I don't know if what you feel the same. Like, if that's why there's an option to actually disable someone to like copy your replica, because sometimes your friends could visit your teapot, and then if you have it on, they can just steal it without you knowing, right? Like, you can just not steal, but just copy it right away using these numbers. You can still use these if you want. They're still active, but I'm not gonna tell you if they're inactive. It won't tell you. It won't tell you unless you actually enter it in your teapot. Okay, so here are the requirements basically. So the useful thing about replica system is that it lists for you these items. Before the replica system, you have to like search the item every time and then make a list using PDF, I don't know, or Google. I don't know what everyone's been doing, but I was doing that, and it caused me a lot of work. It's like really time consuming, but now it's easier because you can just see the items displayed and what you need, and then the amounts. Yeah, it's so easy. And then it's even easier if you're in the same server and you just can use replica. Okay, so here's the tour. Okay, let's see. I want to use my keyboard actually. Okay. That's not the tour. The tour was done. Okay. So this is the next part of the exhausting part of doing a tutorial. If you like tutorial, please. This is what we'd do. We would take out each of the items one by one, and it's very like, sometimes you don't want to pick that tree, but it like drags everything, like maybe the boulder if it's like huge. So it selects the boulder instead, and so hard, so you have to zoom in and out, and you have to get like to edit that part out, and it's really I don't know, so much work. Take out those trees, because when I do not replica, like tutorials, I usually like do like in the reverse. That way when you reverse it, it looks like you're actually building it up, right? But here I am taking it out one by one, but I wanted to start with the trees first, and then the boulders last, right? Because the boulders kind of like are the base of this build. They just look like the structure of how it looks. So yeah, and then here, while I'm taking this out, I want to ask Liz here what you think about copying someone's work in general.
Oh,
I don't know.
A really big question. Okay.
Because you draw yourself, right? You started like becoming like interested in art.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like copying someone else's work is okay. It depends. It can be okay as long as you don't claim it as your own work, like if you're using it for a reference. Because I know when I first started using art, I would like trace anatomy and stuff like that, but you just can't like claim that artwork as your own.
Yeah,
it's like, because I know a lot of beginners also start out like that,
right? And
it's definitely helped me out a lot. And then yeah, that's all I gotta say, man.
So basically, like when I was a kid, I would go out, like look at those fairy tale books, and I would trace around like the outlines of the characters. So that's like saying if you have a replica, then you're not really making that work, because you're actually just copying it. You're not really tracing anything. You're not putting stuff together. Like if you would buy like a Gundam or any type of like building items, like those things, that boxed ones, and you see like it's usually Japanese type stores, and then you build it yourself, and they have like manual or an IKEA furniture. So it's like it's not like that for replica. it's usually it's literally just copying it straight to your teapot. Like even the placing the area it is, there's not that much option. You can't even move it around unless it's in a set. It's basically where it was, all the location, like pixel wise, like individual like copies. I don't know, like even the where it is right now, and it's just very limiting. It's like, what if you don't have this area cleared out? Like, what if your main design is here? Like, your main house is here. You can't even copy that. You can't even copy this this design at all. That's why also a tutorial is easy. You know, if you just want to do a tutorial, I think that's better than just using a replica. I would use a replica if you really don't know how to do syncing stuff. Like that's like more really advanced teapot building. Other than that, like, you know, it just takes away the effort like we put in, like the blood, sweat, and tears, if you call it, that we put into doing this work. But at the same time, it's there, right? Like, it's just like, I don't want it, like it's there, but if you don't want to give it away, that's your choice, right? That you have the right to not give away replicas because it's your own work. But also, you can't really control the people who would judge you for that. Like, they might think you're stingy or just like, I don't know, you're just like being selfish, or just showing it off, I guess. But this is just me being proud of what I did, right? Like, showing it off is part of it, but not like putting out there like, oh my god, look at this, you can't have the replica for this.
Yeah,
like
okay.
that, you know.
But like, the thing is, what you've explained so far, I feel like there really is no point in taking the replica. Like,
Yeah.
if you can't really edit it and make it your own, then like a tutorial would be way easier, so you
Right.
can customize it for yourself.
Yeah. Well, to correct you, you can edit it, but you can't. Well, for example, you can edit it. For example, if you take this out and then you don't like the tubby that's just like staring at you there, you can take out tubby and replace it with something else, and then you can put it back and claim it as your own, the whole thing. So that's what's like the problem of the replica, because you can just take out one thing, or you can add one thing, and that totally becomes another replica ID. So it overrides whatever that person's like. There's no credit for the actual. For example, if you copy someone's replica, there's no like indication where it came from originally. That's why. Yeah. So what are your thoughts? I don't know how many. Okay, we still have 5 minutes left to talk about stuff.
Oh god, I really want to restart this entire recording.
No, because this is just, you know, raw podcast, no editing at all. So yeah, it's so hard to like take stuff apart, especially if they're like really tiny. For example, like this one, you have to like really know. I don't know for PlayStation players, but you just have to like click every single item. Sometimes you can't click the right ones, and every time you take out stuff from a set, there's this pop-up that's really annoying. It's just like a prompt, and you have to edit that out if you're making like a reverse tutorial video. So I know, like, I need water. So I have a question though, for other people, like for 4.0, like SereniTea Pot, I'm talking about Fontaine. What do you think, like what do you think the realm would look like? Like that, I'm like excited about that. What do you think? So if you don't know Genshin, it's Fontaine is like water region, like hydro.
Like,
So
some leaks on it.
okay, we can't talk about that here. I can't edit that out, but yeah. So basically, there's water. Looking at the trailer itself, they have like
Look at the trailer.
like what do you call this? A waterway system that you can. I did that one. You can see it in my shorts. I did like a sample of it. That's all you could do basically. Like, okay, then watch it now. Watch it now. So yeah, it's basically water, and then I just I hope Hoyoverse like sees everyone's teapot that's sinking. Like you can make use of water. I wish they would add that in like the future teapots, that we'd have just access to water. You know, like you can't. You don't want. You have to make do a glitch in order to access water. Because so far the only water we have is like fountains and ponds, and they're not really like enough. And since like the desert boulders are existing, I think they should have like a actual water, like at least like a water type boulder. That would be cool, right? Like
Oh,
at
water
the, instead of the top
boulder?
part, yeah, instead of the top part of the boulder is grass, which is not existent. By the way, look at the grass of this boulder right here. It's so polished. Instead of grass to be like water, or you can just dig or something. I don't know. But yeah, well, that's like an Animal Crossing, right? But I wish they would add that, but I don't know. They're not really listening to what we want in this game. In general, because even the other players who are asking for it in the surveys, they're not heard. I just feel like that they're just focusing on other of their games, Honkai Star Rail and the ZZZ. I don't know what, I can't remember the name. It hasn't come out yet. So yeah, we're almost done this. So I'm just taking out the last bits of this build. But the rest I just need to take out using retrieve all furnishings, because I don't want to take it one by one.
That's messing with my sanity right now.
Oh, we still have one spot here. So look at this circle here. That's an actual item. When you save this design, you can actually see what it is. It was the pond. Like, it's the pond. And you're wondering why I couldn't see that in the edit mode, because this pond is actually, if you look at my previous video, I transferred it from where's this on Conchcore Isle. It's actually a link to this boulder right here, and then yeah, whatever you do with that boulder, you can just follow it. It's like an advanced type. It's like using up the load for this area, and then it's not using up the load for the current area I'm in right now. So yeah, if you weren't interested in how to do that, you can go check out my previous video. But I broke the load limit, which is also what I want to discuss in my next video, is a load limit. If you like this type of podcast, I suppose you just let me know. And if you want another guest, oh no, I only have one guest.
You heard? Okay.
So, yeah, and good luck on pulling Kokomi.